So you came on partly today to be our co-host, but also you had actually reached out, and I saved a picture of it because it was in your story, right? What's your announcement, or what did you want to talk about?
I'm actually going to have a webinar that is, we're billing, it is the digital world premiere of a film we made last summer. So the film is called Pebble Redux, The Bears of Amakdedori, and it's I went out with Brandon Hill from Inlet Keeper and Trip Jennings from Balance Media, and we went out to Amakdedori Beach, which is the proposed port site. So the area where we were, it will be destroyed. There would be a power plant. There would be a huge industrial port. There'd be a road going to it. And we filmed bears. And we made a 14-minute film that was supposed to be touring with the Wild and Scenic Film Festival, which has been canceled or postponed. I'm not sure which. But anyway, our film is not touring, so we're taking it digital. So on April 21st.
It is a life-altering experience coming out to a place like this to watch bears. It's a thrill. It really is a thrill being close to an animal that large and being able to, spend hours, days, weeks watching that individual animal and getting to know its quirks.
First salmon, that very first salmon. Everybody's waiting for that red salmon. It is just unbelievable. You take that fresh red and you cook it, and that first bite is just like, oh my God. It tastes like the ocean. It tastes like, everything you inhale by the beach.
The fight against Pebble Mine has been going on in Bristol Bay for decades. This new aspect of it that affects Cook Inlet really has only been on the table for the last year and a half. So when people say, oh, I know about the Pebble Project, they don't.
April 21st at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, we're having a webinar that's being hosted by Natural Habitat Adventures. They've been doing a webinar every day, so 1 o'clock every day, and ours is going to be on April 21st. It's going to be me talking about how bears will be impacted by Pebble Mine, and then we're going to have this 14-minute film, world digital premiere, and then there'll be a time for questions and answers at the end. So if anybody has any questions at all about bears in Alaska or hopefully more specifically the Pebble Mine, and then there's going to be an ask at the end of it. And what we're trying to do is get people to contact senators, and it's going to be really hard to be heard right now with all that's going on in the world. But we want people to contact their representatives to put pressure on the Army Corps of Engineers, because while we're all focused on surviving, finding this new lifestyle in all this that's going on, people don't know this, but the Army Corps of Engineers is still plugging away at this EIS. And
not only that, but either as a result of or with the opportunity being presented, a lot of the EPA restrictions have been lifted.
Yeah.
Which gives an opportunity to fast track some of these projects that have been slowed down because of restrictions.
There's a lot of shady stuff going on at a governmental level. And so while the people who are fighting this mine, like think of the people in Bristol Bay right now that are opposed to this mine. They were supposed to be commenting on this EIS, but instead they're worried about having their salmon season canceled. They're worried about feeding their family. They're worried about if this pandemic makes it to the villages. If this pandemic makes it to the villages in Alaska, nobody knows what that scenario would be. So these people are fighting for their lives. And the Army Corps of Engineers is saying, nope, you need to comment on this mine, which would also destroy their lifestyle. So we're trying to get them to suspend the process until after this pandemic's over. Not just it's the right thing to do. The Army Corps, frankly, should be building hospitals right now rather than trying to put forward this mining proposal. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to be able to put you in touch with your representatives on how to ask them to help suspend the NEPA process, it's called. And that'll all be in the webinar on April 21st.
Right, and you do have to register to view it, right?
You got to register, and I don't know if you've been following all the controversies with digital security and things like that. So the email registry is just to prove your identity, or there have been some high profile meetings that have been hacked and things like that. So it's just an added layer of security. So if you register, one, it helps us know how many people are going to be there, so we can affect impact our, we can be ready. We can be ready for that many people. But also it'll help you keep updated on what's going on. So,
but we want all 5,000 people to be writing.
How amazing would that be? Like,
right.
This is really a David versus Goliath kind of situation. Like, we are going up against mining companies. We are going against some very moneyed interests. We are going up against the federal government at this point. Like, this is, if this is something that we care about, and I feel it is, it's something I care about, and if we're gonna stop this thing, we got to work together, and this will be the mechanism that does it.